Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the ESFL Network featuring PrimeTime MMA with their sixth card on the ESFL Network. I am your play-by-play and host commentator for the evening, Kingsley. And alongside me are two awesome commentators that are going to be with you guys. On my right side, we have the one, the only Crooks. Crooks, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Everybody out there is staying safe, being healthy.
Absolutely. We hope everyone's having a great time because we're about to be live for prime time. But before we get in that, Yuri, you're back in the booth. Hopefully your mic is all ready to go for these amazing fights that we have here tonight.
Absolutely, guys. How is everyone doing? I see people in chat showing love. Love to see it. Yeah, man, no more mic problems, but we're not worried about the night problems, are we? We're worried about a fantastic card we're going to see featured former ESFL competitors, and everybody here is just going to have a wonderful time. Buckle up, sit down, and enjoy the ride. Kingsley, let's look at that card, brother.
Let's take a look at the card indeed as we see our co-main event. God Ate My Pig versus Mikey Boy, a very interesting matchup in the co-main event. And then our 5-round main event fight, BSD Pudgey versus BFAP Chris. That's going to be an amazing fight. I can't wait for you guys to take a look at that one. And then we have amazing fights in the prelims and the main card in general. And Crooks, when you see this fight card, what fight are you looking forward to the most?
I'm actually looking forward to all of them. I'm looking forward to Fight 4 as well. Probably the most because I fought Hammer. I used to train with Hammer in UFC 3. So I know he has the skill level to be able to compete at a high level. So I'm interested to see how well he does against MF's PL1 Hayes. That's the fight that I'm looking forward to the most.
Absolutely. And Yuri, on your side, I mean, what fight do you think is going to be the most entertaining for our chat live here on Twitch and on YouTube?
Yeah, no, the way I see it is I want God Ate My Pig and Mikey Boy to be 5 rounds. It's upsetting we're only going to get 3 rounds with these guys. Man, this is going to be a fantastic matchup. We're going to see 2 boxers who love to pressure, and some aren't going to be able to. They're going to have to work a little bit of countering. I'm also, like Crook said, Hammer, of course, the former ESFL competitor himself. Kingsley, man, this whole card is just going to be absolutely stacked to the brim. It's a shame it's only 6 fights. My goodness, I want more.
Absolutely. We have 6 fights indeed, but you know, these fights are going to give you everything that you need. Hope you guys are ready for prime time because we are going to go into our first fight.
Blue corner, predominantly a striker. He's got a really solid, well-rounded game. It's looking like he's a Max Holloway main, though. He's going to have great footwork. Obviously, you got to be careful with that leg health. But the fact of the matter is we're going to be seeing a matchup between 2 cardio kings, Crooks. Tell me about Sufer Ottoman, man. This guy's obviously shown a lot of promise.
Yeah, he's 2-0. He prefers to grapple, so I mean, he picked the right fighter for that in Tony Ferguson. So we're gonna see how well he does against Max Holloway on the feet.
100%.
Here we go. Max Holloway mirror match should start out for the first round of the first fight of our ESFL network featuring PrimeTime MMA. Their 6th card here live on Twitch and on YouTube. And already we're seeing a takedown attempt landing for Ottoman. Ottoman already in half guard. Let's see what he does right here, Yuri.
Yeah, what he's got to do is he's got to keep Max Holloway grounded. If you're going to go Tony Ferguson versus Max, he's into crucifix. Unbelievable. Already gets the first big denial. Yeah, he's doing exactly what he has to do. He's got to get the job done on the ground, kind of avoid getting into big mix-ups with Max Holloway. But if he keeps this up and keeps the ground pressure going, Crooks, what are you thinking about this so far, brother? Is he doing a good job getting this fight down to the ground, or do you attempt to mix it up a little bit with Holloway?
No, he's doing exactly what he needs to be doing. He needs to utilize Tony Ferguson's strengths, which are on the ground. He needs to not take any big risks here. He just needs to stay sound, try to keep him on the ground, get some good ground and pound in, maybe occasionally throw in a sub as well. But overall, he needs to try to keep this fight on the ground as much as possible.
Yeah, and already past the halfway mark of the first round. And we saw a little bit of reversal a couple of moments ago, but nice transition denial into a rubber guard for Valentine. Valentine doing a good job trying to get in this position, but able to get out. Valentine does. Oh, but we're seeing a submission attempt. Oh, this could be huge right here, Yuri.
Yeah, if he can hold this triangle choke for long enough, that bar will eventually start speeding up, but it's going to look like he's going to get out of this. Triangle choke not being one of the more better subs, but he's going to be able to get down, and looks like he's going to be put into side control, missing that. Not a good idea to chain that right there. Crooks, do you just kind of avoid the chain so you keep your full guard?
There, I feel like he knew that he wasn't going to get it. He should have just canceled with L1 and R1, if I'm being honest, but he just gave it up. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to get it. Max Holloway's stamina was too high. But this is, again, plays into Tony Ferguson's strength. Even though he's allowing him to get into full mount, if he slips a straight or posture or is able to frame a hook, he can easily get a roll and easily be thrown back into a dominant position. So he's doing a great job, and Max Holloway is playing right into his hand.
Absolutely a great job.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, and we see under 1 minute already landing him up. ICB Valentine in the red gloves, landing his opponent back up, trying to keep it standing, trying to do more damage as he gets a nice combination, attacking the body and now attacking the legs, trying to go with some crazy leg kicks or head kicks to the face of Ottoman, but Ottoman staying in control. Doing the spinning back fist, able to get some damage in, but it seems like both guys are just keeping the range and trying to keep the distance between both competitors here, Yuri.
Yeah. As you were saying, we saw a little bit of flashy stuff from Max Holloway, which is smart, man. You realize you might have lost this ground. You might have lost this round because of the groundwork that Tony Ferguson has been able to put in. So you maybe go in there and you throw some crazy stuff, get a cheap rock. Some will say cheap rock. I think it's a good idea. But looking at that 2 minutes of control time, Ferguson, the significant strikes look relatively the same. I got to give that one to Ottoman. Crooks, how are you seeing that round?
Yeah, I have to give it to Tony Ferguson as well. Max Holloway going into the second round needs to try to keep this standing as much as he can. He needs to put pressure on Tony Ferguson to make him really hesitant about trying to either shoot for that double leg that he got at the end of the round there, or for trying to get a clinch or anything else. He needs to dictate the pace of the fight, which he's letting Tony Ferguson do right now because of the grappling that Ferguson has been trying to employ. But he needs to just go for broke, in my opinion.
All right, into the round as we see a knockdown from Valentine in the red gloves. Able to get the spinning back fist, able to knock down Alaman and gets a takedown for his troubles. And now we're back in the same situation from the first round as we're seeing a ground and pound attempt, just landing some bombs and shots, but able to get back up, not even forcing the ground and pound, but a great knockdown for Valentine right there, Yuri.
Yeah, that was smart there. You get that big knockdown. Obviously, you're ahead in the judge's scorecard just from that so early on in the round. And then I also like the quick change of direction. Get that fight down to the ground. Now, if you're Tony Ferguson, you got to think, maybe this guy's going to shoot on me. As we see the Marshall Mind trip. Shout out to Prioxis. That is what you call the Marshall Mind as we see Max Holloway getting in the top mount. And again, as Crooks was saying previously, I mean, this is something you absolutely cannot fall in love with. Staying on the ground with Tony Ferguson. But it's looking like Max Holloway is consistently getting the better of these exchanges. Maybe Tony Ferguson is not that great at defensive grappling here. I'd like to see him maybe get worked into maybe some kind of a submission. Get him thinking about the sub at least. Crooks, what are you thinking so far, brother? I mean, we got a good fight so far. I definitely think it could be 1-1 right now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fight.
Well, you can see the momentum changing and swinging in favor of Max Holloway. I think what Tony Ferguson should do is he should really, as he gets a beautiful takedown right there, he should really try to get back acclimated to the fight, try to take momentum back, try to just stall out, understand that, you know what, you might have lost this round, get some good ground and pound in, try to get some control time, maybe shoot for a couple subs. If you're able to get a couple of deep ones, as he lets Max Holloway get up right there. Oh, he gets rocked with that straight. Max is just walking him down now, which is the complete opposite of what we saw in round one. And Tony Ferguson has to shoot for another takedown. The tide has really turned into Max Holloway's favor. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough once you get Max rolling to really take that momentum back.
Yeah, and as we see here, already in top mount position, trying to get back up, but gets denied here. Under 1 minute left in the second round right here. It seemed like it was all Valentine able to get the knockdown and the rock, but now we're seeing the top position as we see Alaman trying to get some damage in, but gets pushed back into half guard, and we're getting closer and closer. He's trying to get back into a submission attempt. Here goes, submission attempt, 30 seconds left. He might possibly have time, but it seems like it's not going to be enough as that escape gauge is halfway through. So Yuri, all around, very interesting round for both gentlemen.
I mean, this is obviously Max Holloway's round. Like Crooks and you both mentioned that the momentum has just completely changed. Man, Tony Ferguson's got to do a better job of when you get Max Holloway on the ground, and I know it's easier said than done, right? Keeping him there. Really start working down that stamina and go for that big submission that you're craving. Right now, you cannot fall in love with getting mixed up on the feet. Do everything you can, sell out, go for a clinch, go for a single leg, go for a double leg, get this fight down to the ground as soon as possible. As we see him, they're about to touch gloves, about to get into this round here. This is a 1-1 in my opinion. Tony Ferguson with that work in the first round might have won it, and that very well could have been a 10-8 on Max Holloway. So you got to think both of these fighters having no time to settle. As we get rocked there, he goes for the double spinning back fist. Crooks, interesting combination there. Not something you usually see.
Well, he's hit him with that twice. If I am Tony Ferguson when we're on the feet, I'm gonna try to backstep that and shoot a front kick out to be able to get a rock off for myself. But here we're back in T Ferg's world. He gets switched. He gets hit with the reversal, but this is his world. He needs to get him in put Max Holloway in a situation where he is in trouble, whether that be with subs. Unfortunately, Max Holloway gets back up. He really needs to watch that jab spinning back fist. He's gotten dropped with that twice. He either needs to use the elbows in the pocket or play at a range where he can counter that. Like that right there. He shot that front kick, was able to knock Max Holloway down. Now he needs to go to the back, maybe try to get a back drag or try to jump in the backpack. He's not able to get either one. It's going to be tough. He hits him with another beautiful front kick right there. But he needs to either play at range or get in with the elbows.
We're seeing the momentum shift as we're halfway through this third and final round of the first fight here of Primetime MMA. And it seems like we're just going to go for a brawl. We saw Super Alman just able to get some strikes before again trying to get the takedown as he lands again. But Valentine just wanted to keep it up in the striking position. But again, this is where Alman feels the most comfortable with this Tony Ferguson here, Yuri.
Yeah, I mean, right here it would be smart. Play some defensive, offensive grappling here. Just keep Max Holloway on the ground as we get a big denial there for sprawl. Tony Ferguson says, no, sir. Fakes the knee on belly, tries to get it in crucifix, and that's something he's got to not worry about at this point. Just keep him in your wheelhouse. Keep the fight down on the ground. Maybe try and win this fight on control time. Crooks, what's the best way to do that right here? If you're really having a bad job keeping a guy on the ground, how do you continue to keep it in your world?
Well, you keep shooting for those double leg cancels like he is and getting the takedowns. But to be honest with you, he needs to go for a knockdown himself. He's down in this round. He's gonna lose it if it goes to a decision. He needs to try to maybe time one of those spinning elbows like he just whiffed right there. Those are gonna be his best chance to get one of these flash rocks, or if he's able to throw like a jab straight head kick, or my favorite combo, the lead hook straight head kick. Maybe one of those combos. That's the only way that's going to be able to save this round if it goes to a decision. But it looks like Max Holloway is just kind of playing patient now. He's waiting for Tony Ferguson to come to him. He's okay with getting taken down. Tony Ferguson's not offering too much in terms of subs, and when he does get a sub, he's not trying to actually go for it, which is really, really weird in my opinion. But hey, I'm not fighting in there. But if he rides this out, it's going to go to a decision. I think it's going to go Max's way.
It will go to the decision at the end of 3 rounds right there. We saw takedowns coming out of the way from Super Alman, but a couple of rocks and knockdowns in favor of Valentine. And we see, there it is, ICB Valentine taking the victory of the first Primetime MMA card of the new season here on the ESFL network. Good showing by him, able to just not really give Tony Ferguson the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the ground game, but able to do everything he kind of wanted when it came to striking. And you have to think, very impressive to start off his debut in Primetime MMA.
Yeah, 100% Kingsley, and I'm sure Crooks will agree with this. This was a case of a Tony Ferguson player desperately attempting to get this fight down to the ground, and it was just being stuffed at every attempt. Fantastic takedown defense, did exactly what he had to do. Crooks, what do you think about that one? Is that ideal Max play?
It really is. What impressed me the most was that he got taken down in the first round. He got hit with over 2 minutes of control time. On this stage, that can kind of discourage you. It can kind of get you rattled. He came back out in the second round. He got that beautiful knockdown off of that jab spinning back fist. He took control of the fight in the second round, and then he came out in the third round and he did the exact same thing. He never let Tony Ferguson get that momentum back. He was even when they were on the ground, he wasn't getting thrown into really dangerous positions where his stamina was really low. He was hitting reversals. He was getting up out of the top mount when he was there. It was all around a great performance by Max Holloway.
Absolutely. And that's the performance you expect to see here in Primetime MMA here on the ESFL network. If you guys are just joining us, welcome everybody. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube for the ESFL network every Wednesdays, showing one of our affiliate leagues. This time it is Primetime MMA. And you saw a spectacular showing from ICP Valentine. And we're just only going to keep this going as we got 5 more fights ready to go. I am your commentary, Kingsley. Alongside me is Yuri and Crooks. As we get into the second fight, vicious fighter, and he's looking to prove a statement right here.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy who consistently goes for the finish. And I mean, and sometimes UFC 3 in a 3-round fight, that's the best game plan to do. Really hasn't worked out for him. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. No disrespect to the kid. Obviously, you know, if you're fighting in this league, there's something that you're doing right. I think that's what he needs to do, man. He's got to be careful with his stamina. He's got to not work on stamina drain. He's got to focus on just keeping this fight uphill and continue to work hard and not draining out that stamina too hard. Crooks, I know you're fighting. You got a BZ Nelson over there, and we're about a pretty solid grappler.
Yeah, he has pretty decent grappling, pretty good grappling, and has good striking too. I really honestly think he picked the best fighter in this weight class to do both of those. He picked Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler has a good top game.
He just
rocked right. As I say that's going to be a little tough. He kind of made me look like a fool right there.
Yeah, and as we are already in the thick of this first round right here, already rocked from Log Rage. Able to get that knockdown, but now we see a takedown from Nelson. Nelson using the Michael Chandler in the blue gloves, and now a posture up, ground and pound, already landing some shots. And you have to think, he felt so confident with that knockdown, but now he's in the bottom position of this top mount, put in the half guard. You have to think, off the adrenaline high first knockdown, he has to feel bad about being on the ground right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you feel bad about it a little bit, but also Dustin Poirier's guard is absolutely nothing to mess around with. He's really going to try and look to get this in rubber guard and maybe get kind of a sweep or a Gogo Plata here or an Oma Plata. You're not entirely upset about this, but you definitely don't want Michael Chandler to start working as he goes for the armbar. That's exactly what I was saying. You cannot sit and play around in Dustin Poirier's guard. His submissions are very, very strong, and that's why Dustin Poirier is such a high-level pick here. Misses the slam. Crooks, do you if you're Michael Chandler, do you try and work it up to half guard, or are you kind of just chilling out in the full guard? I would hope no.
No, you want to move to half guard like he did and get some ground and pound like he's doing right now. He needs to be careful not to blow out all of his stamina because Dustin will throw him back in the full guard like he just did right there. And then once you don't have stamina in the full guard, he can easily go to that rubber guard. He's trying his best right now to get out of it as he gets rolled. Now this position right here is not favorable for Michael Chandler, who has an 86 off the back. Even with Dustin's 89 top game, Michael Chandler is still at a disadvantage here. Dustin has subs as well. This is a tough situation to work out of if you're Michael Chandler.
Good denial there.
Very good denial there as we are approaching the 130 mark here in the first round right here. Already still on the ground game. Log Rage able to get the reversal now into a posture position, but gets slipped out of it. Good defense so far from Nelson as he's trying to go for that transition. Gets denied a little bit, and we have to see. He's taking his time, gets the posture up again, trying to land some bombs, able to get some strikes. That head health is going lower and lower by the minute, but again, Nelson able to just defend a little bit more, trying to get back in the full mount. Yep, does a nice elbow, trying to get rid of that grapple advantage that Log Rage might have. Tries to get that upper transition, doesn't get it. Both guys are denied. So far, good round chest move. Well, chest game so far from both competitors here.
Yeah, as Romero would say, both of these fighters are denying dingoes. They're doing a very good job of denying their transitions. And if I was Poirier right there, I finally got my posture up. I would have liked to just work the body a little bit. Get you some free significant strikes as he goes for the takedown, and that's going to count in the judges' scorecards there. Yeah, what I saw right there is when Michael Chandler was in top position, he was really, really selling out, trying to get that ground and pound. When in reality, you should be working to get your control time, staying above just Dustin Poirier's full guard. Crooks, what's the best way to manage that? Do you like the ground punches to the body, or do you kind of worry about getting swept?
Well, you want to mix both of them in. If I'm being honest, you want to mix good mixture of body punches, so that way they're not just sitting up trying to posture or trying to move their head, and you do a little bit of damage to their body as well. If I'm Michael Chandler, you just got to be careful. He has a really good top game, but you want to make sure that you do everything possible just to stay there.
True, very true.
And as we see already in the second round right here, again, Log Rage in the red. Oh, good whiff from Log Rage. Log Rage able to get the takedown as he saw the head kick coming from Nelson, and Nelson back on the ground again. And you have to think we're back into this chess game that we call the ground game, as the Denials are looking for, and a nice posture up, but doesn't really land a strike. He's worried about that defense from Nelson, but so far so good from Log Rage. That's a defensive ability you want to see from Dustin Poirier as he gets reversed.
Yeah, very, very, very excellent sweep there. Able to get that momentum transition, moving full guard over to the get up. Then you've turned that into the half guard. Perfect. Exactly what you needed to do. But now you're freaking out a little bit. You're saying, okay, I'm going to relax here. I'm not going to make any mistakes as we get up to stack guard. This is exactly what he needs. I'm getting up right here or moving over to side control. He's going to get reversed here. Dustin Poirier back in half guard. Hey, I'll tell you what we're seeing right here, Crooks. We're seeing two guys who are very, very comfortable off their backs and on top. So this is exactly what you wanted here. If your Log Rage has had, stamina problems in the past, hey, go out there, grind out an on the ground decision. There's nothing wrong with that. Able to leave his old ways in the past. Crooks, is this exactly what you're trying to do here, Log Rage? I think maybe I got it controlled a little bit. Go for a stun or go for a knockdown.
He's actually honestly playing it. He's playing it pretty well. He's making sure that he's on top for most of the exchanges here. Michael Chandler has only had a little bit of top time, and when he does, he's not getting off too much ground and pound. And as you can see, the one that's really forcing the grappling is Dustin Poirier. I think that Log Rage feels that he has an advantage here, which is an area that you would have assumed Michael Chandler would have an advantage because he has such high wrestling skills. But as you can see, he's just controlling them, working his body, getting the points in. He's in no rush. He feels like, hey, I got the first round. I've been dominating in the wrestling in the second round. So he feels like he is in control in every aspect of this fight right now. As he gets rolled right there. So now he's in a little bit of trouble. And he gets put in the crucifix.
And as we see, under 1 minute, under 50 seconds actually, and we're seeing a nice reversal, a little bit of a commentator's curse. But again, Log Rage has done so much, took control most of that round with the ground game. We're seeing Nelson, let's see if he can come back with some striking, because that stamina is so low compared to Dustin Poirier's. And as we say that, a nice reversal into submission attempt, it's not going to really count, but just a nice little favorable move for the judges' eyes to see that he took over completely in the second round.
Yep, Kingsley, cherry on top right there. Go for the Kimura. You don't risk using up too much of your stamina. You just get the free round win. Congratulations. I think this is 2-0. Michael Chandler's really got to get that finish here. And again, obviously, you're getting outclassed on the ground, and Dustin Poirier's ability to get this fight down to the ground is super dangerous for him. So if I'm him, I'm keeping this fight upright, and I got to just throw some leather. Michael Chandler's got plenty of that too.
He really does. He has really good power. I believe he has 95 punch power, the same as Dustin, so he can knock him out at any moment if Dustin doesn't play it right. I just feel like he needs to get into a rhythm. As he gets knocked down right there, this is going to be tough. Dustin is controlling in every single aspect of this fight, whether that be in the stand-up. He's hitting them with some good takedowns, albeit he's hitting those double legs that are a little bit harder to deny right now after this patch. But oh, he gets a beautiful double leg takedown right there. Now he needs to go to work. He needs to try to be active in the guard, beat him up, knee on belly here, get some good damage in. Oh, unfortunately, he lets Dustin get up right there, but then he goes for another takedown and gets it. You can tell Michael Chandler is being much more aggressive in this last round.
Well, you have to think he has to, as it's winding down in the third and final round. I mean, he got knocked down for the second time this whole fight. He got knocked down in the first round and now in the third round. And now he's just getting taken over his back, but he's getting let back up. I feel like if his best chance is going to be of like coming back in this fight, he needs to keep it standing up. Maybe he tried to do a pull counter with an uppercut, but it seems like he's just charging forward. And I feel like there's no real urgency from Lawrage. Lawrage able to get a rock with a vicious right hook. Now he goes for a head kick, not able to land that body health, head health. Blinking, and the stamina is going to be so low as Nelson has his back to the cage, and it seems like it's almost over, but he's still fighting. He's still trying to control, trying to go for overhand. Oh, but a whiff, but doesn't go for the head. He doesn't go for the headshot right there,
Yeah, if I'm Log Rage right here, I'm not overextending as he decides to taunt. Very interesting. Yeah, if I'm Log Rage right here, I know I just completely dominated this entire fight. I'm not overextending. I'm not getting my head kick whipped and knocked out into oblivion. You had the fight won. I don't necessarily like the taunting there. It looks like he's really, really trying to go for the finish. Yeah, I mean, you got a minute 40 left. Don't get taken down here with low stamina. Good takedown there from Chandler. Yeah, this is obviously where Chandler wanted to be the entire fight. Both fighters have done a very good job of reversing each other's grappling, though, and that's where it gets dangerous. Chandler has no stamina. Good denial there. Yeah, Crooks, man, this is, I mean, this is just an outclassing to me. I feel like Log Rage has just done a perfect job from start to finish, you know, dictating the action. We never really got to see Nelson really start dictating the action as he moves to backside. Crooks, man, you got 40 seconds left, brother. You got to sell out and do something here.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just, you know what, I'm getting up. As he gets reversed there, you have too low stamina to really do anything on the ground that's going to really threaten Dustin. It's too low. Even if you posture up on Neon Valley, you're going to get a couple hits in, but your stamina is not going to allow you to really finish. Oh, as he's trying to make me a liar. He tried to make me out to be a liar.
Oh,
That's some good damage in right there. But it's too little, too late. I have it going Dustin's way all 3 rounds.
Yeah, as we end the second fight right there, it got a little bit too close as we see the replays right here. Log Rage able to get 2 knockdowns that entire fight. It seemed like it was completely dominant on his side, whether it went to the ground or in the striking. But man, Nelson, he had a chance in that last couple rounds. If he had a little bit more stamina or just a little bit more time in that posture up, need the belly to get that posture up strikes, he might have taken the win. But as we see there, as we predicted, Log Rage able to get the victory of the second fight here in Primetime MMA 6. What a great showing, just overall on the ground game and in the striking.
Yeah, right there, Kingsley and Crooks. I think we can all agree right here. That was a grade A butt whipping. No disrespect to the other guy, but Log Rage took that 4-fight losing streak and said, look, man, I really got to sell out, get the job done. And he did just that. Excellent pick with Dustin Poirier, matching Michael Chandler's ability to fight on the ground and on the feet. You're not really mixing up problems there. You got the ability to get the fight submissions, and you got the ability to get the fight to your striking. Perfect performance. It's exactly what you needed coming down with a 4-strike losing streak.
Yeah, I can't believe Log Rage is 1-4. I mean, that was an incredible performance from a guy that's 1-4. He dominated in every aspect of that fight. He dominated this. He got the knockdowns. He was initiating the wrestling, which means he really wasn't concerned of what Chandler could do on the ground. He drained his stamina, was going for subs. I'm really, really impressed. I did not think the fight was going to go that way and that he was going to dominate so easily, but hats off to you, man. Great performance.
Absolutely. And you have to think, you said about the record being 1-4. That just goes to show when it comes to these fights, when it comes to the ESFL network and the spotlight that we put on fighters, like it could like anything can happen in any given fight. Like you think it's going to go one way, it could go another way. You think you can have the striking, it goes to the grappling. Like anything is possible when you're in the spotlight. Like everyone can have a plan going to the fight, but once you get hit in the mouth, everything changes in a blink of an instant. And that's what we're going to be seeing. Oh, go ahead.
And really to add on to that, you know, I tell people that are considering fighting in any league, whether any of our affiliate leagues or the ESFL itself, you know, it's different when you're fighting in front of people, when the eyes are on you, when the lights are the brightest. That's when you really have to step up. And some people can't do that. Some people can, some people can't. But it's a whole different ball game when you get in here against somebody that's trying to prove something to the viewers.
100%. Yeah, I mean, when the lights are on, it's a completely different scenario. How many times have we seen that happen in the ESFL or any other league play, man? Going on to our third fight here. I mean, 2 wonderful fights in a row. I mean, can this make any better. We're getting GAB Bumba, FNG Fetty. GAB Bumba is going to be in the red corner. He has a record of 4-4. He's a pretty solid striker, nice, well-round, but he also trains with a lot of elite grapplers when it comes to this UFC 4 stuff. I'd like to see him, get the fight to the ground a little bit, maybe show off some new grappling. Crooks, we're seeing NFG Fetty, man. What do you know about this kid?
NFG Fetty, he prefers to strike. He doesn't really like being on the ground too much. He attacks the legs, which is honestly one of the best moves to do with the new calf kick animations. So I'm expecting to see him do that. And he has a record of 3-2, so he's trying to stay above that 500 mark by getting a win with this fight.
Kingsley,
Absolutely.
what do you got in this fight, brother?
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be, if we're looking at the previous fights, I feel like it's either going to be other dominance or it's going to be a very close knockabout brawl. But as we see here, we're already getting started in this first round here. Bumba in the red gloves. We have his opponent, Fetty, in the blue. And already not really much of the same style that we saw from the first couple of fights. Both guys are just slanging and banging inside the phone booth and guys just going for it in their striking, not even caring about stamina.
Yeah, not really caring about stamina, but again, we're talking about this. Michael Chandler has this uncanny ability to knock somebody out in a minute. So I'd be very, very careful. Shout out to Dan Hooker. I'd be very careful right here. Also, if I'm Michael Chandler, I'm utilizing some of my stand-up right here. RDA, vicious submissions. We've seen him do it time and time again. You got to avoid that as much as possible. But it's no problem to work a little bit in half guard and side control. That Kimura is very easy to deny, and I don't believe RDA has a Darce choke. Crooks, is this where you kind of want to be? Not here. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful sweep.
Yeah, well, you want to be on top if you're Michael Chandler. You do not want to be on the bottom with RDA. If I'm RDA, I'm being very careful with the strikes that I pick on the feet because Michael Chandler, like I said in the last fight, he has that 95 punching power, so he can put you out fast and easy with one strike. So you need to be really careful. If I'm RDA, I'm going to be using those calf kicks as well, just like Michael Chandler I think should be as well. You really want to hammer out that leg, get him to switch stance because he does not have a very high switch stance, and try to incorporate some grappling of your own.
And all right, we're seeing very much a different pace, a quicker pace than we're usually seeing, as we see a nice reversal for Michael Chandler, able to get the top position, top mount, and now you're seeing the punches and jabs just going in the face of Fetty. Fetty able to get some nice defense, trying to get up. Oh, going for a leg submission, not able to get a nice deny from Bumba. Bumba able to stay in this top mount position and able to just keep on striking. And so far, so good as we approach the 130 mark right here, Yuri.
Yeah, get it back, Bumba. I like when he postured up. He didn't go crazy. That's what you see so many lower level fighters do when they finally get that top mount. They get a big denial and they're saying, oh, I'm about to just start slinging leather. Be very, very cautious when you start throwing your punches because the ability of RDA to get out of top mount and get you right back standing on the feet is elite. So that's very smart. I'd like to commend him from that. If I'm Rafi Dos Anjos, I'm doing a better job of keeping this fight standing. I know you're not winning that matchup. I'm starting to push a little bit, and I'm going to use my kickboxing. That's where RDA gets the job done against Michael Chandler. Either he's on top or he's kickboxing with Michael Chandler. As we're going into the 22nd mark here, Chandler getting a couple cheap elbows in before this clock runs out. Crooks, what do you feel about that? Do you kind of utilize kickboxing, or do you go for a takedown of your own?
Well, you can use a good mixture of both as the round ends. If you're RDA, the first thing that I noticed, the one thing that I took from that first round is you can tell Michael Chandler is making him feel uncomfortable. He's staying in his face. He's staying in that pocket. He's really just pressuring RDA, and that's not really it doesn't really play into RDA's strengths, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and as we approach the second round here, we're already back in the stand-up. It seemed like both guys, they just want to sing as an uppercut. Both guys try to land an uppercut right there. Not able to do much. We saw the head held blink a little bit for Rafael Dos Anjos for Fetty. And right now we're seeing, a vicious head kick landing for Fetty on Bumba. Bumba, he needs to find a way to just avoid those head kicks as he gets a vicious rock. Vicious rock gets a knockdown. That will score very well for him in the eyes of the judges for the second round. And gets a power slam to boot into side control.
Uh-oh. Now he's in a big bad situation here. RDA's got to do whatever he can to avoid this as much as possible. But yeah, I liked what I saw there. He got a nice strong head rock, got all the way to a drop, went right down for that power takedown, doing a little bit of damage to the back of the head, doing a little bit of damage to the back. Yeah, I mean, this is really, really solid work so far here with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the second round. If I'm RDA here, man, I was winning a little bit of the kickboxing exchange, but now you got to realize that your head health, your permanent head health, is in such dire situation. I mean, Crooks, you go for a takedown here pretty soon. You got to avoid getting hit in the head.
Yeah, you really got to be careful with the posture up here, because one posture up could finish you off. He takes back mount there. He needs to be careful not to get put into back flat here. If he gets put into back flat, Michael Chandler probably will finish him. He needs to be careful in this full mount as well. His stamina is a little bit lower than Michael Chandler's. He needs to try to post one of these hooks. He's getting hit with straight. He almost got finished right there. He was able to survive. That head health is blinking though. It's blinking like our car gas gauges when we're about to run out of gas. And he's getting hit in the half guard here. It looks like he might get the finish. Oh, he just survives there.
He is surviving so much in this second round. I mean, 2 posture ups and just complete damage. And now he's going for a submission attempt. Very interesting. I mean, he had so much success going to the posture up. He forgets it. I feel like he needs to stay going to the posture up because he's not getting denied going into that position.
Yeah, I like the arm triangle there a little bit. You're right, though, Kingsley. You're doing a lot of damage on the head here with these posture ups, but I like the arm triangle just a little bit. Yeah, I like it because you change the pace a little bit. You get him into a position where you're thinking, oh, hell, he's trying to submit me. Now you go with your posture up, and now you do your ground and pound damage as he goes for a Kimura. Oh, my goodness. This is exactly what you want as RDA. Excellent submission defense here from Michael Chandler, though. Yeah, you kind of want to go into a better, stronger submission if you're RDA. If you do make it out of the second round, you want to get top position, and you definitely want to take somebody's arm here because you're not winning stand-up and you're not winning off your back.
Yeah, you want to try to get whatever sub that you can as the second round ends there. If you're RDA, you cannot exchange with Michael Chandler at all anymore. You have to try to single shot, try to catch him while he's coming in with a front kick, or try to get a takedown of your own and work ground and pound from there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your third and final round of our third fight. Halfway through this Primetime MMA 6 card here on the ESFL Network. Again, Bumba looking so good so far. And we see Fetty, he's answering the bell. His head health is blinking, so he can't afford any more trades, but he's still pressing forward, trying to land his uppercuts. I'll be surprised if he tries to go for a full-on head kick, but gets denied. Oh, he actually denies a takedown, keeping it standing up, and you feel like he needs to keep it standing up because he needs a knockout.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that get up right there was ill-fated, and it might spell the end to his fight. You had a perfect position there. You could have attempted to at least get in the backside right there as we see Chandler going in for some Muay Thai knees to the dome. Yeah, I mean, you had a perfect position, and look at you now. You're, man, I don't know about that one, Crooks. Do you go for any kind of submission at that point, or do you try to make it to backside? It looks like this is going to get the job done. Fantastic performance there. GAB Bumba. What more can be said about that? Just utter dominance from start to finish. Never really letting RDA get any. I mean, Kingsley, Crooks, I think that was pretty outstanding performance.
Yeah, it honestly was. He stayed in his face. He put the pressure on him. He was able to shoot for some takedowns. He got good ground and pound off when he was on the ground, and that ultimately was what he was able to finish the fight with.
Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of unfair. You saw in a replay, he had one hand behind his back, so he can't even fully block any of the strikes that were coming through. So that was just pure unfortunate. But that seemed like that was the whole way of the fight. They seemed close enough phone move. They were striking a lot. It was just the benefit of Bumba just able to get those knockdowns. And then when it came to the posture up, it seemed like Fetty had no answer for the posture up game, especially in top mount and in full mount. And it was just open season on his head. And that blockade was only going to get you to where you want to be in defensively. So kudos for Bumba for getting that massive victory. But again, guys, we are on the halfway point here of our Primetime MMA card right here. Let's take a look at the fight cards so far, as we still have our co-main and our main event still ready to go, and also another fight, Hammer versus PL1 Hayes. I mean, Yuri, when you look at this fight card, it's been good so far, but we still got a lot of great fights coming up.
The fight card hasn't just been good, Kingsley. It's been fantastic. And we have what could be 3 main events happening back to back to back. Chat, I want to see everybody show some love right here. We're about to see a former ESFL competitor. We're going to see a bunch of competition that very, very well could be in the ESFL. I mean, my goodness, we got 3 main events coming for you. It's an unfortunate case that only 2 of them are going to be 3 rounds. Man, Crooks, this is your boy Hammer. You were putting him over. Hopefully he comes out and shows exactly what he has to do. Chat, again, let's show some hype. Get ready for this absolute banger of 3 more fights.
Yeah, it's man, if these last 3 fights are going to be better than the first 3, man, we're in for a hell of a show, guys. It's been a great ride so far, and we're only at the halfway point, so I'm looking forward to everything.
Yeah, and when we get in this fight right here, as we see, both guys are already in the fighter selection. And again, Crooks, let's talk about PL1 Hayes. I mean, he's going against what you think is going to be a heck of a fight. What do you have on the information of PL1 Hayes?
Well, PL1 Hayes, he's a pressure fighter. He likes to keep up that pace. He really wants to dominate where the action is taking place. He has good defensive grappling, which you're going to need against a guy like Hammer and Ortega. You're going to need that. He picked the right fighter in picking Jose Aldo. And he has a 3-0 record, so he hasn't lost. So let's see how he does against his Brian Ortega matchup. Yuri, what do you have on Hammer?
Hey, man, again, Crooks, you put him over big time. He's a former ESFL guy. Not enough can be said about this guy's ability to get the fight down to the ground, go for a submission, work his ground and pound. As we see them starting things off, doing a really good job pushing back. Kingsley, take it away, brother. I mean, my goodness, this is a perfect matchup right here.
This is the co-main event of the evening, our 4th fight of Primetime MMA 6 here, live on the ESFL network, live here on Twitch and on YouTube. Again, we're seeing both guys very different pace from what we saw in the last fight, as a spinning kick just misses on the face, on the body of Ortega, and already a rock and a spear takedown into side control, already starting off with a bang. And you have to think, so far so good for Brian Ortega.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you do with Ortega. You say, hey, look, I'm going to strike with you. As you go for the Gogo Plata. Uh-oh. One of the more overpowered submissions in the game. This is bad news if you're Jose Aldo right here. Doing exactly what you had to do. You spun that web. You got him into that trap. You say, I'm going to strike with you. I'm going to strike with you. Psych, you're going down to the ground. You're coming to my level. And even if you lose out on this submission, still in your guard, which is 100% more dangerous than being on the feet here with Jose Aldo. Crooks, you got full guard right now. What do? You go for your rubber guard? Obviously, there you go. I mean, this guy, he's just doing everything right. My goodness, with a big denial. He's going to do a little bit of head damage. Oh, man. Crooks, what do you got for me, brother? This is dangerous.
This is one of the trickier positions to be in, especially if you're Jose Aldo against a Brian Ortega, because Brian Ortega is such a beast on the ground. You get rolled right there. It's tough. You're going to lose some stamina. He's going to go for another Gogo Plata. And now your stamina is a little bit lower. He almost had it in the last time. So you're definitely in a really dangerous spot right here. As you can see, he's defending it pretty well with Jose Aldo. It doesn't look like Hammer's going to get this one. But you want to be careful with being in these submissions against Brian Ortega.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken so much of the first round being in his ground. He was able to get a rock and then a spear takedown. And now, even though he's in full guard position right here, he's still very dangerous as he gets put his opponent in the rubber guard situation and just piling on some strikes against Jose Aldo. And so far, so good. I mean, this is exactly where he wants to be in this whole fight. You don't want to really strike against Jose Aldo if you're Brian Ortega. You want to keep him on the ground.
Yeah, a little bit of a folly there if you're Hammer. You did definitely just won this first round pretty convincingly, but you give Jose Aldo a chance to get a cheap rock here and maybe take it away from the judges. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Brian Ortega, I'm definitely keeping my distance. I'm throwing long strikes like he just did. Beautiful spin back kick to the body. Does a little bit of damage, but more importantly, it keeps Jose Aldo the heck away from my dome and get a free knockdown. Big, big, big front kick. Yeah, Crooks, I mean, this is exactly what you want. You want to spin that web and then not really show him too much on the feet if it has to get on.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Ortega played it perfectly. He got to the ground. He shot for some submissions. So now Jose Aldo is going to be aware of that going into the second round. It's going to make him a little bit more cautious. He's not just going to be walking forward and wanting to throw in the pocket with you, because he knows that you're going to try to shoot for a takedown. So it was well played by Hammer in the first round. Let's see if Jose Aldo is able to make an adjustment in the second.
All right, and as we see the referee getting these competitors ready to fight, here we go. The second round of our fourth fight of Primetime MMA. Again, Hammer in the red gloves using Brian Ortega. His opponent, Hayes, in the blue using the Jose Aldo. And already, both guys trying to really take their time trying to find the strikes. As we see a nice combination, four-piece combination into the face of Hayes. Hayes tries to do a pull counter, able to land an uppercut, but not really landing much to follow up. But again, he's used to some flips, he's used to some pulls. He's still finding this coming back in this fight, but Hammer with a nice rock, able to just set the tone in the second round right here, Yuri.
Yeah, but another thing too, you just saw that, hey, this guy can pull counter my round strikes. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Says, not gonna happen. Jose Aldo, we're not gonna play this game. I'll let you play a little bit, but you got to go back into my world right here. Back sitting position right here. It could either be a case of denial right into the rear naked choke, as he just goes right to it. He says, heck, I'm gonna go for this finish. This is probably the strongest submission in the game. Man, this is super, super dangerous right here. But what we've seen, honestly, not a lot can be said. Hayes has absolutely done a wonderful job in these submission situations defending. I mean, this is a top-level ESFL guy, and you're doing everything right when it comes to submission defense. So very, very good performance from both sides. But, yeah, I mean, again, if I'm Jose Aldo, I had side control there. I want to get up immediately, not play any games as he does get back to his feet. Yeah, Kingsley, man, what are we feeling about this fight so far, dude? I mean, if you're a Jose Aldo, obviously fight on the ground. But whenever you get on the ground, I need a little more crispness out of your transitions. Your sub defense is perfect.
Yeah, his sub defense is perfect, but the head health is so low. He can't afford to get in these trades like he used to in this first round right here. As we're under the 2-minute mark for both guys, Hammer, he needs to find a way to just keep his distance, I feel like. If he goes to the ground, that's perfect. He'll waste a lot of time in that situation. But again, Jose Aldo's still so dangerous. As we see him, tries to go for a crazy fancy kick right there, but not able to land. And a taunt. Oh, he gets hit in the body. That could have been very scary for him, Yuri.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you run the risk every time you taunt. If I get popped, I am going to be in some very, very big trouble. But the fact of the matter is that taunt was actually pretty intelligent. It's saying, hey, stand with me. Stand with me. And Hammer is, I mean, unfortunately, fallen into that taunting trap. Hammer's obviously no slouch when it comes to the striking. Hey, you're not in the ESFL if you're one-sided 100%. But the stats alone, that completely changes everything. As Ortega's able to pull guard, going to get the sweep into top mount. He does. Probably going to see a posture up right here, get a little bit of damage as he does. Posture's up. Kind of waiting for him to show anything. He does a good job of not really showing anything, not really showing a frame, as he's just completely working.
Just the pounding, the mashing of the buttons. So close, as that's the end of the second round right there. Man, that was just so close. I mean, you just nonstop, straight into the face. We saw Jose Aldo's head bounce from the canvas. As we take a look at the replay right there, just feels like mostly a dominant round for Hammer again.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter, it's a very, very solid round there for Hammer. If I'm Jose Aldo, not really a whole lot you can do anymore at this point. You can't really stand up with this guy because he's working you there. But, I mean, you got to do what you can here. Maybe get a knee. I'd probably start working my knees in case he does decide to shoot again, which would be ill-fated. But, yeah, I mean, doing a fantastic job as we see a rock there. Crooks, man, how are we feeling about this matchup so far? I mean, it's a tough one, but Ortega's looked excellent on the feet.
Yeah, I want you guys to pay attention to that as he gets a beautiful spear takedown. When they were on the feet, you could tell just by the movement how the fight is really going. Ortega is moving in and out. Jose Aldo is really just trying to hit Ortega with something as he's coming in. Oh, he gets put into the back sitting. This is not where you want to be with any fighter, more or less with a Brian Ortega, because the armbar from here is just as lethal as the rear naked choke. As he does a beautiful job denying there, but he's going to get put in the rear naked choke here. He has low stamina. He's done a good job so far of denying these chokes, but this one's going to be a little bit harder to stop. But so far he's doing a good job. Looks like Hammer's not going to chain it. I think he feels like he knows he's not going to get this sub. He's just going to try to let Jose Aldo either get put in his guard or stay in back sitting as Jose Aldo turns into side control. He needs to get up here. Jose Aldo needs to get up before he gets swept, and he gets swept into that full guard. This is trouble. This is really big trouble.
Trouble, but as you say that a ton, and now we're going back into the stand-up right here. He still needs, I feel like he needs to have a finish, because it's been a little bit of a deja vu from the second and first rounds. He gets rocked, he gets taken down, and then you spend a lot of time in the ground game, and now you have to stand back up and try to find a way to knock down your opponent, possibly for the first time in this fight, because he's running out of answers, and he's running out of a lot of head health. And he's just trying to like throw things and see if they stick on the wall as he gets a nice straight into the face of Brian Ortega. But so far, it seems like it's Hammer's fight to lose right there, Yuri.
Yeah, even with the bad head health disadvantage that he has as he gets completely knocked down into oblivion, if you get into a mix-up and you slip 1 or 2 strikes, if you're Jose Aldo, this whole fight can change. We've seen how quick UFC 4 can change as he gets rocked again. Man, Hammer's just doing a fantastic job when he is on the feet. Gets down, gets into the top mount, front full guard posture up, gets the job done. Yeah, hey, is what it is in that topic right there. I mean, Brian Ortega doing exactly what he had to do, stalling out on the ground, going for submission, so the referee will never pick him up. Yeah, Crooks. I mean, is that elite? What? I mean, you were completely right about this guy.
Yeah, he really utilized it. And what I was more impressed with too was that he actually was using Brian Ortega in southpaw. He was using them in southpaw for most of that fight and still doing the damage that he was doing in terms of the striking. It was incredible. He used that new that buff to the set that Brian Ortega had to his boxing after his last fight against Zombie, and he used it to the fullest and was able to get that finish.
Yeah, I mean, incredible showing from Hammer. So a former ESFL guy, he knows the spotlight very well, able to put on a dominant performance in all 3 facets of the rounds, able to get the finish in that final round right there. I mean, it was just a rock from the beginning. Then he was able to get the takedown, and it seems like he wanted to do everything he wanted. If he wanted to take it to the ground, he was able to take it to the ground, and it showed in his skill and his capabilities in that whole fight. But man, Crooks, this like 4 fights already in, and it's been such an amazing fight card. I mean, talk more about that last fight. I mean, Hammer, do you see like any changes as a game, or this is what we should expect from Hammer going forward in prime time?
This is honestly what I think you should expect from Hammer going forward. He looks like he is ready to challenge for a title. He can either be a #1 contender, or he could even, if somebody's not able to make it, he should be challenging for that title. He used Brian Ortega's boxing perfectly. When he was on his back, he used his rubber guard, was able to get some submissions off, was threatening in every single position he was put in. He did a great job. Even with him using him in southpaw, that lets you know that if you do come in with an Aldo and try to leg kick him, or a Volkanovski and try to leg kick him, that he can fight in both stances, which makes him very versatile. It makes getting a read on his striking a little bit more challenging, because you never know which hand those punches are really coming from. You have to pay attention to it. So really, really, really great job by Hammer, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do in future cards.
Absolutely. We can't wait to see what he does in future cards, and we are going to actually move on, because it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for your co-main event of the evening for Primetime MMA 6 live here on the ESFL Network. We're going to have God Ate My Pig versus Mikey Boy. Crooks, tell me what you got on both of these competitors right here.
Well, on Mikey Boy, I got an all-around fighter. He has scary submission, so you do not want to be on the ground with these guys. He's an opportunistic fighter. He's going to try to capitalize. If he knocks you down, he's going to go for that brutal ground and pound. He's 4-3. He's on a 4-fight winning streak, which means this guy's been on a tear. He's and on God Ate My Pig, he's gonna let the fight go. He's kind of a flowy guy. He's one of those Bruce Lee be like water type guys. He can fight everywhere. He's a boxing heavy wrestling style, which means he's going to try to throw a lot of overhands and shoot for takedowns. And he has a 4-1 record. So we're going to see who's going to get their 5th win in this fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
There it is. Yeah, and I'm looking at the matchup right here. I like Charles Oliveira versus Connor. This is a complete 2 different sides of the spectrum. One guy is, hey, I got to get this fight down to the ground as soon as possible as we see the first shot. And then Conor McGregor's, obviously, we've seen his problems with wrestling. He's going to do whatever he can to keep this fight standing. If I'm Oliveira right here, I'm definitely starting to get starting to get a little worried taking this early damage, and I'm going for a clinch, or I'm going for a single or double leg. There's the clinch right there, gets him down to the ground. I mean, Kingsley, man, this is looking pretty good if you're Oliveira up here and Conor McGregor standing.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to be in. Oh, but a nice reversal. See, it could always be about the stats of your character or your fighter, of what you're going to be doing in the octagon, but it's all about your personal skills with the controller. As we see already, God Ate My Pig on top, just pounding some bombs onto the face of Charles Oliveira in Mikey Boy's face in the red gloves. And so far, so good for both competitors. We see another positive opportunity, not able to get denied into side control as we approach a past 3-minute mark. And so far, so good for both competitors right there, Yuri.
Yeah, Crooks, there was a beautiful 2 denials in a row. That full guard denial, well, now that he knows about it, obviously he's going to deny it again, but that first full guard denial there, attempt for Charles Oliveira, that's a very, very fast transition. And if he wants to get that next time, maybe go to sprawl, fake, and then go back to your full guard, because obviously you don't want to even get into sprawl. You want to keep this fight on the ground. Even if you're off your back, Charles Oliveira is 100% dangerous. As we see, he's going for a triangle choke here. Showing pretty solid submission offense, and Crooks, I think you can agree with this. Obviously, you're as pro gets when it comes to this game. The first submission, you're not really selling out for. You're kind of getting them worried. I got to figure out this guy's submission defense. Gets back into a side control position for Conor McGregor. Crooks, is that kind of how you're feeling?
Yeah, the first one's always a teaser. You're not really shooting for it. I mean, if they have low stamina, you're going to go for it. As they stand up here, this is not where Mikey wants to be. This is a super dangerous position for anybody. You do not want to be here with Charles Oliveira. You would rather be on the ground. So he needs to either try to clinch up or shoot for a single leg and get a takedown himself. But yeah, he needs to be careful. McGregor needs to be careful when they're on the ground that he does not get one of his straights slipped, because if you get slipped and your back gets taken, oh, he lands a beautiful uppercut right there, gets a beautiful knockdown. This is where he should keep it. He should really feel comfortable here. He almost got back slip countered right there. He needs to calm down a little bit, reset. This is where he wants to fight. This is where Conor shines.
A very shiny moment for Conor McGregor. God Ate My Pig in the blue gloves. And oh, a nice vicious front kick landing on the face of God Ate My Pig. As we see Mikey Boy, he's able to finish off that round with some good bright spots. But as we see, interestingly enough, it's only 9 strikes of 43 in favor of God Ate My Pig. And you have to think, Yuri, he has to feel very confident about that whole round.
Yeah, you feel confident about the first round, but again, you probably used a little bit of your stamina there. So now I'm thinking, okay, I won the first round. Let me see if I can take it a little bit easier, not really sell out for the finish here, and just focus on keeping the fight on the feet. I mean, if I'm Oliveira, man, I know my butt. But, again, I know he used a lot of stamina to do it. So, big knee there. Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm kind of getting this fight down to the ground. Again, he used the clinch earlier, which was very, very solid. Crooks, what's your favorite way to get a fight to the ground, man? Especially going against Conor. I mean, you're not playing around.
Well, Oliveira has a really high takedown. I believe he has a 92, so you can shoot for takedowns with him, or you can use the clinch. It's really just whatever Charles Oliveira feels comfortable doing. But he has to try to do it, and with a quickness, because Conor has high stamina still. It's not low enough to where you would feel comfortable with it. He got rocked right there. This is not where you want to be, standing up with Conor McGregor, with Charles Oliveira. He shoots for the double leg bail right there, takes the back, goes for the backpack, and there he is. He's in that back sitting position. This is where you want to do your work. Either he needs to go for top mount or the rear naked. He chooses that rear naked choke, but he got it blocked. Good job by Ate My Pig. He's going to go. It looks like he faked top mount and went for the rear naked choke, got tricky with it, got real tricky with it, and now this is a dangerous position for McGregor.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the submission attempt. It's looking a little bit neck and neck. The escape bar is looking like it might be going forward. But again, the submission attempt, Charles Oliveira has great submission characteristics, abilities, and it's getting closer and closer. He might actually make a comeback and get to submission. Conor McGregor needs to not get scared right here. It's getting close. He taps out.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Mikey Boy comes back. He was almost knocked down. He tries to go for flying knees twice, gets taken down, but somehow takes the victory and gets after God Ate My Pig to get the victory. Unbelievable to see as Charles Oliveira gets a rear naked choke.
How many times have we seen it? A rear naked choke finish. Unbelievable. When you go for Charles Oliveira, everybody's going to say, oh, that's cheese. Oh, that's cheese. You know, oh, joint subs are broken. Choke subs are broken. Arm bars are broken. No. Your arm is broken because I broke it. Shout out Gaming Echo. There it is, man. You got the job done when it mattered the most. You got the rear naked choke. Hey, it is what it is, man. Don't put there. That's all I'm saying. You got to do your best to not get put there. So, Crooks, man, fantastic job there. Of course, rear naked choke finish. There it is.
I like the setup that he hit him with too. He hadn't hit him with that setup yet in the fight, so he hit him with something new, took the back. He hit the double leg bail, and then he immediately shot for another takedown after that, which allowed him to take that back. And then he just jumped straight into the backpack position. He knew where he was going. He knew what he had to do to get the win. He went, and then even when they got in the back sitting position, he seen that his first rear naked choke got blocked. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to get real tricky with this. I'm going to fake top mount, and then I'm going to go for the rear naked choke. He was able to sink that in, and it was a done deal from there.
Absolutely. I mean, it was kind of crazy how that whole fight transpired. I mean, we saw Conor McGregor, guy my pick, just absolutely dominate on the striking. But then when Charles Oliveira went to the ground, it just seems like he really wanted that submission, and he was able to get it. And that's what happens when you get into these spotlights. I mean, it just happens on any given fight that it could go either way, and it could just turn in an instant. But before we get into any more fights, we welcome you guys here on the ESFL Network. PrimeTime MMA 6, one of our affiliate leagues, are getting things going. Excuse me. As we take a look at the fight card right here, we had 5 amazing fights so far here live on Twitch and on YouTube. And so far, it's been nothing but nonstop action right here, Yuri.
Yeah, and nonstop action. I mean, my goodness, we've seen everything you could want. If you're new to this game, chat, I know a lot of people are really solid comp in this chat, but man, if you're new to this game, you hear it from Crooks, who's obviously one of the best players in the whole world. You hear it from Kingsley and myself, who really aren't that great, but we're trying to get better just like you. Look, get your pen, get your notepad, get on your phone. Every phone in the world has a notes app. Write this stuff down, man. You listen to Crooks, you watching the gameplay, write this stuff down. Write some of these combos down. Write some of these abilities to get the fight down to the ground. Write it down in your notepad, guys, because the fact of the matter is we're giving you this for free. All you have to do is hit that follow button, and if you would be so kind, put that notification bell into crucifix position and just start elbowing the hell out of it. Really appreciate it. Crooks, man, let's move on to this. Who we got here? Pudgey versus BFAP Chris.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. This one's going to be 5 rounds. This is the end all be all on this card. It's going to be a crazy one, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, Kingsley, go ahead, bring us in, brother. How are we feeling about this matchup?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time as we get a little bit of a commercial of our own. But before we even get to the fight, let's just take a look. Let's just promote the ESFL. If you guys are just new here, if you're just sticking around with us, we thank you. We're happy to bring you guys around here. This is the ESFL, the Esports Fight League. We have so many amazing fights. Every Wednesday, we show an affiliate league of what's going down in PrimeTime MMA and UFL. That's going to be next week. And in the IXC had their last card. Be sure to check out the VODs here on Twitch and on YouTube. And if you feel like you want to be a part of these cards,
been able to create a great network where that's not only faster but broader as well. If you feel like you could take on these high caliber fighters, be sure to join our Discord and have your
We're deploying at an unprecedented scale.
And get ready to fight. But also, along with these ESFL network cards, we also have a whole massive lineup for you guys for the ESFL. ESFL Friday is our multi-event where Jerry is going to be with Top Man Stan and Ed Parker. They're going to commentate some amazing multi-fights. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be our number cards, and it's going to show amazing fights, title fights for the ESFL, Xbox and PS4 Championship. It's going to be amazing. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's about that time. We finally have the main event ready to go. It is BSD Pudgey versus BFAP Chris, and we're going to get this fight going.
Yeah, I'm seeing the matchups right here. Did we get Henry Cejudo versus Marlon Moraes? Okay. Yeah, Marlon Moraes, got to be careful with that crane kick. I'd like to see it at least once or twice. And if I'm Henry Cejudo, you're going to lose this standing up every single time, no matter how skilled you are. We've seen it time and time again. People try and use Henry Cejudo for the grappling and get pieced up on the feet. So you got to get this fight down to the ground, play no games, and really bring it into your world. Because, man, if you try to stand up with Marlon Moraes, you're going to get torn apart. Crooks, you work the legs here if you're Marlon Moraes, correct? If you keep this fight standing, you can really take advantage of that 80 switch stance.
Yeah, you really want to try to work the legs. If you're Henry, you want to use the movement to try to fake, to get in and out, to set up your takedowns. You do not want to just go in and start shooting for takedowns wild. He's doing a good job. It looks like he's going to stay patient here. He shoots for the double leg bail right there. He pulls guard, but Marlon Moraes is having none of it. And still, this is trouble because Marlon Moraes has a good top game, and Henry Cejudo only has a 90 off the back. It's gonna be a problem if this fight stays here and Marlon Moraes ends up on top.
And already in the thick of this 5-round main fight here for Primetime MMA, Pudgey in the blue gloves using Moraes, and then we have Henry Cejudo being used by BFAP Chris. And already we're just seeing both guys trying to tackle fight change up the levels a little bit. We saw a little bit of grappling, but now we're staying in the phone booth and just circling around, not really forcing the issue when it comes to striking. You have to feel like that's a little bit of a mental chess for both competitors, as we see Pudgey just being the aggressor with these strikes.
Yeah, you got to be the aggressor here, man. You cannot sit here and let Henry Cejudo get anything going on the feet. You want Henry Cejudo to say, look, oh my goodness, I can't get anything going. I got to really sell out and try and basically what I'm saying is Marlon Moraes, you want Henry Cejudo to force the shot. So it's harder to guess because if you're over here, you're pressuring him, you put it into his mind, my goodness, I can't do anything on this feet. I got to shoot. And then that sets up your knees. That sets up your excellent takedown defenses. It's really smart here. As we see, Henry Cejudo is no slouch when it comes to the stand-up game, but he's definitely, as we see Marlon Moraes go for the shot. Interesting. Yeah, definitely no slouch when it comes to stand-up, but he's utterly outmatched. I'd like to see him work the leg a little bit more. Henry Cejudo going to take this fight to the back of the cage. Crooks, you going for back sitting right here, or are you going for backpack? 50-50, you choose one.
Well, he went for backpack right there. He got denied. But overall, that's really what you want to see out of Henry Cejudo. He's been going for a lot of double leg bails. To be honest, if I'm Henry, I want to see more of what he did a little bit earlier. As he gets taken down there with that double leg, that's a very, very hard takedown to deny right now. I personally know I get hit with that one a lot, so it's definitely a problem. Now he's put where he does not want to be at. You can see Marlon Moraes try to go up for stat guard there, got blocked and got rolled. Now you need to put in work if you're Henry. You have less than a minute. You have around 35 seconds to really get some damage in and really secure this round for yourself. You need to take that opportunity. There he goes. He's posturing up, trying to get some ground and pound off. He's able to land 1 or 2 strikes, 3, 4. He's got him hurt. Before he postured down. That's exactly what you want to do if you are Henry and you are in this situation.
He's looking not here for a long time, but a good time as the end of the first round happens in our 5-round main event. And man, if there was like maybe 10 seconds more, that could have been all that she wrote. But again, we see Pudgey. He still has a chance in this second round right here, but he needs to make sure he doesn't get taken down.
Yeah, and that too, you got to realize, hey, I got 20 minutes to do my work. I'm not sitting here. I'm not freaking out. I'm not selling out as we go for the backpack. Going to get that denied. Separate them. Yeah, both of these fighters, guys, you have 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to do your job here. You can incorporate any different game plan for 2 more rounds, and it would still come through. If I'm Marlon Moraes, I'm 100% working that leg because Henry Cejudo said, hey, look, I'll stand with you. Which is absolutely not what you're supposed to do. Start working that leg, try and get him into that switch stance, and then really start making him force the takedown. If I'm Henry Cejudo, there you go for the shot there, goes for the double leg bail, takes it back, he gets it. Now this is a very, very dangerous position. Posture up damage does a lot here as he goes for the rolling knee bar. Crooks, what do you do here, man? Do you try and get it into anywhere but where he is now?
Well, he's in back sitting, so Henry's in a good place. He's going to go ahead and take top mount here. He did a lot of damage at the end of the first round. This is really where Moraes needs not to be. He's able to get that half guard sweep. But here we go. We're in side control. This is Henry's world. He can control you as a 95 top game. He's one of the best grapplers in this weight class. He needs to be really careful. He got his head health drained at the beginning of the first round, so that's got to be in his mind. He's trying to get out of these situations where he can get heavy ground and pound landed on him. As you can see, he's trying to shoot for full guard there, but then the posture up happens, and this is where Henry's going to do a lot of damage if he's not careful.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're already in the halfway mark of the second round here, we still have another 3 fights. If it even goes past the 3 fights, 3 rounds, excuse me, as we see Henry Cejudo in the full mount, he's in the top position, going to half guard. So far, so good for him. He's just taking a lot of time off the clock. He feels like he's done enough to just keep his opponent like on edge whenever it comes to the posture up. Going to top mount right here, Yuri. It just seems like going to go to posture up, and he has like a dominant factor going this whole fight.
Yeah, hey, look, this is exactly where you want it. You want it in your wheelhouse. I know you're supposed to be a very balanced striker, a very balanced fighter in general, but the fact of the matter is when you're going against Marlon Moraes, you're trying to be balanced. You're trying to take dude down. You're trying to hold him. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you try to do here. You keep going up and down. You keep going into top mount. You put back in half guard. You fake, go back to top mount. This is what you do. I mean, he's not going out here trying to get the finish here. If it comes to him, it's going to come naturally. His big mistake there is that slip. Yeah, I mean, you're doing nothing here, but you're trying to keep this fight on the ground. If he shoots again, good denial. And again, you got so much time. You got so much time. You're not freaking out. You're not worried about trying to incorporate your game plan that you had set up. Because you got A, B, C, and D game plans, and you could fit all those into a 3-round fight. Good turning takedown denial there from... And there it is, as I was saying earlier. You force that shot out, Crooks. Takedown defense is looking pretty good so far, except for the few times he's been taken down.
Yeah, Marlon Moraes' takedown defense is good, but if I'm him going forward, I am not initiating grappling with Henry Cejudo. I understand he's trying to get that standing guillotine out of the clinch. That's fine. If you're going to the clinch to try to throw some strikes, you do that, but do not initiate the grappling because he's getting rolled and he's getting put into ground and pound situations, and his head health is slowly but surely going down. He might not notice it. He might not think it's a very big deal, but it's gonna pay dividends for Henry Cejudo in the long run.
Yeah, and as we approach this 3rd round, we still have possibly 2 more rounds to go. So far, it's just been a crazy fight so far when it comes to the ground, as we see another takedown in the favor of Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo in this posture up, but a good defense by Morales, by Pudgey. And Pudgey, the other thing, here we go again in the 3rd round. I'm already have my back to the ground, and I'm already in this posture up situation. You have to feel like he needs to change up something, try to like possibly get his like maybe he should take down of himself, because like whatever he's doing, it's not working for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's really trying to make this standing guillotine work for himself, and he's had him in that single collar tie a couple times. He's had him in the Muay Thai clinch a couple times. If you're going to do that, if you really, really want it, which, guys, I do not recommend you go for that dang standing guillotine, avoid that at all costs. Man, you got to go to the body a little bit. Mix it up. If you really want him to not block high as he goes for the Kimura attempt, and Marlon Moraes' guard isn't necessarily a free world, but yeah, I mean, like Crooks mentioned earlier, you are not initiating grappling at all. You've lost pretty much every single one of those exchanges. Again, I know you want the guillotine, but if you really want that, you got to work the body, because all you got to do is hold left trigger or right trigger, and that's instantly blocked. Crooks, I mean, this is really, really good work so far from Henry Cejudo. I'm honestly incredibly impressed.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's controlling Marlon. He's getting into every situation that he wants to. I mean, he's cutting his guard like butter. He's got that beautiful denial there. He's hitting to the head to gain GA. He's posturing up, hitting him to the head, trying to lower that guard. He got that free transition right there in the side control. He gets him in the crucifix. Now this is really, really bad for Marlon. He has to be careful. Even though he got back into this side saddle position, this is not where you want to be at with Henry at all, as he's able to get back into side control. If I'm Marlon, I'm trying desperately to get up. I really, really am.
Yeah, and you have to think, under 1 minute to go here in the 3rd round. Henry Cejudo in the posture up, just throwing the hooks and just straights. As unfortunately, we won't be able to see what goes on with this round right here. Unfortunately, we're taking a quick commercial. But again, just go back into that fight, just going in, Jerry. It seemed like Henry Cejudo, he was doing what he wanted. He was able to take it where he wanted, get the posture up, and able to get that just posture up strikes in his face.
I mean, look, the fact of the matter is if you're Marlon Moraes, if you did survive this round, now your time's running out. Now you really, really got to start doing something other than trying to spam that standing guillotine. That's the last thing you need. And chat, we really do apologize. It's just part and parcel when it comes to esports, man. There's going to be some hiccups. It's not a big deal. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk to you. I mean, Crooks, I mean, you know, Kingsley, this is really, really disappointing here because Marlon Moraes, all he had to do was start working leg kicks, really start using that high power, man. I mean, this is something you got to work on. And again, guys, this is something we have to deal with.
They stayed exactly where they wanted to be. They saw the commercials like, all right, we're just going to hold up. We're going to let the play out, and then we're going to get back into the fight. So, Crooks, as you see right here, as we see a nice reversal, good stuff for Morales to like just come back and get some damage on his opponent right here.
Yeah, as he gets rolled, he threw it straight. He got it slipped, and now Henry's right back where he wants to be at the end of the round. If I'm Marlon going forward, I am holding L2 and R2 for dear life. All right, it is my lifeline. I am not getting taken down by Henry anymore. I'm not initiating clinching at all. I'm purely trying to strike from the outside from this round going forward.
Yeah, and as we approach the fourth round, the main event rounds are ready to go. As we again, Pudgey in the blue gloves, we have Chris in the red gloves, Cejudo, and Yuri. You have to think already in the clinch attempt, something different that we saw from the first couple of rounds. I know he was going for the standing guillotine as he gets taken down right here, and now we're just back into Chris's world when it comes to the ground game.
Yeah, I mean, I got a feeling right now it seems like some of his buttons are broken on his controller. He broke them right before the round, man, because he's doing the exact opposite of what you want to do against Henry's. No disrespect to the guy. I know you're really, really selling out trying to get this guillotine to happen, but man, it's not something you can do. Like Crooks had mentioned, as he gets a good denial here, see what he goes for. Just goes for the rolling knee bar, gets that denied. You had a chance to get up right there. Why aren't you getting up, man? You see that black line around the cage. You definitely want your 2 feet behind that black line. You don't want to get into a position where you're down on the man, Crooks, I mean, this is elite stuff. It's almost like he knows that he wants to go for the grappling the grappling events, and he's saying, "Hey, look, I'll entertain it. I'll be right here with you."
Yeah, he really is. He's really playing into Cejudo's hand. It looks like it was the other way around that Pudgey wanted to be Henry and maybe he wanted to mirror Henry, but he just didn't want to do it in the league fight because he's getting hit right here with ground and pound. He might get finished here. He's able to get up. He's able to slip a strike. He needs to try to go for that body. While that health was down, he needed to go for that body shot to try to get a rock to the body, and that would have really changed the course of the fight, but he wasn't able to do that. But now here you have to capitalize. In round 1, I would have given it to Marlon, but the last 2 rounds have been dominated by Henry, and he keeps going for that clinch. I feel like he needs to. I haven't seen him throw one switch kick with Marlon Moraes yet. He needs to try to use that to try to keep Henry at distance and try to discourage those takedowns from happening. But so far, he's pressuring him. He's staying in his face. I think he understands that he's down. He's trying to avoid being hit, but there he goes for another takedown. He's able to get this one into side control.
And so far, so good for Morales. He's using a lot of stamina, not able to get some strikes as it's approaching the 1 minute mark. Morales, Pudgey, he needs to find a way to just get some momentum back. It seems like it's not close. Chris has been massively dominant going to the ground game. As we see another takedown again, and it just seems whatever Pudgey wants to do, it's just not working for him. As we get a submission attempt, excuse me, Yuri, take it over.
Yeah, I mean, momentum there too. He's probably not going to get this this arm triangle and half guard right here. Like you said, momentum, and I'm also seeing a guy who's absolutely refusing to plan B. He really wants to stick with his plan A. Getting here 5, 4, 3. Yep, that's the end of the round. Not really going to get anything going there. I'm seeing a guy who's refusing to use Marlon Moraes to his strengths. He's not striking. He's not using switch kicks, as Crook mentioned. He's got that big, powerful crane kick that I haven't seen not one time. Like you said, Crooks, this almost seems like a case of like, hey, I really wanted to go grapple. Maybe I just knew Marlon Moraes had standing guillotine. I'm not 100% sure, but look, fact of the matter is we've seen how fast UFC 4 can change, right? We've seen flash KOs out of nowhere, and Henry Cejudo has a little bit of a grapple or a stamina disadvantage here, so you absolutely never know. This fight can change in a minute.
Yeah, it really can, and he keeps going for that clinch, and he's going for the standing guillotine. If he's gonna go for that, he needs to clinch up, throw a couple knees to the body, then transition, and then when he transitions, go for another couple knees to the body, and then go for the standing guillotine to force Henry to block low, and then maybe have that chance of getting that standing guillotine. He was able to block that judo throw there from Henry, but now he's put into the double bail. He's able to block that takedown. They're released. He needs to go for broke here. I feel like he's down 3 rounds to. He's down 3 rounds. He needs to get a finish here, and let's see if he's actually going to try to get it.
And as we are in the thick of this 5th and final round here of our main event here at Primetime MMA 6, you have to think Pudgey, he's still in it, but he can't get taken down again as he's trying to deny it. He gets the denial in the clinch. You have to think this is kind of troubling for Chris. He has low stamina. He has even lower stamina than Morales. So you have to think he needs to be really, really careful and not try to fumble the bag right here.
Yeah, fumble the bag, that's for sure too. But yeah, look, the fact of the matter is I know that I'm winning the fight. This fight is in my hands. I'm going to sell out, get the takedown as he does, moves it in the half guard, fakes Kimura, goes back to the Kimura, he denies it. Now look, I'm not really going to get swept here because I don't want to get submitted. I know my stamina is bad. So guess what? I'm going to sit here, I'm going to posture up half guard. I'm going to go back and forth to top mount. Doing the perfect thing whenever you want to just win a fight. Because he's doing exactly that, Crooks. I mean, he hasn't necessarily sold out for the finish. As I say that, he's finishing him.
Oh, boy.
Congratulations, brother. You just got the job done, man. That was a beautiful, I mean, just complete domination from start to finish. A true 50-45 when it came down to it. No disrespect to the guys, man. You know, Marlon Moraes got to do a better job when it comes to your striking. I mean, you're not in a grappling position. You're not going to win really many grappling exchanges with Henry Cejudo. Crooks and Kingsley, man, that was just pure dominance from start to finish, I believe.
Yeah, it really was. Henry did a great job of getting, after the first round, he stumbled a little bit out of the gates. He let Marlon really control him in the first round, but after that, 2, 3, 4, and 5, he was in control. He was getting good ground and pound off. He really wasn't threatened by the stand-up at all from Marlon. I understand, you know, like I said earlier, it can be tough. It can be tough when you're fighting in front of people to be like, you know what, I need to change up my game plans. You get a little bit of nerve. So, I mean, I understand it was a little tough. He wasn't able to make those adjustments. It's a learning experience, and he'll come back and be better the next time.
Absolutely. And yeah, just speaking on Chris, I mean, full dominance. He was able to go full 5 rounds and just put it on his opponent with that Henry Cejudo. And unfortunately, Pudgey didn't have any answers. I mean, he had a little bit of success, went for the standing guillotine a little bit too much for my liking. But, you know, as you said, Crooks, he'll go back into the lab. He'll get some practice in. And then hopefully he could come back and maybe get another chance at a main event primetime slot. And hopefully he'll come back and actually get the win next time. But again, guys, it's just been such an amazing card. We apologize for the technical difficulties of that main event round, but it's just been a good fight card in general. And Yuri, when you take a look back in this whole fight card in general, what were some of the highlights that you loved about this card?
Yeah, I mean, we got to see a huge comeback with a rear naked choke. We got to see, you know, for your grapplers out here, way that we saw a complete dominant performance there. You know, we saw some completely wonderful finishes too. I mean, look, guys, this was as good as it gets when it comes down to UFC 4 gameplay, period. I mean, look, you got to think about it here. If these guys are coming out and they're really trying to impress ESFL, they're really trying to get into these leagues, you did a good job. So many people did a good job. I mean, Hammer, I mean, goodness gracious, the guy did exactly what he had to do, completely dictated the action. I'm looking at Henry Cejudo, Pudgey. I mean, he did a fantastic job from start to finish. I mean, Crooks, Kingsley, can you imagine a better way to spend your Wednesday night? Chat, we really appreciate everybody stopping in. As I see, we're still pushing 100 strong. Man, wonderful time. Great time. Truly.
Yeah, it really was. I was really impressed with the submission defense on all the fighters tonight. I mean, there was a lot of subs that were attempted. There were a lot of rear naked chokes that a lot of fighters were able to get into. I mean, I mean, but the fights themselves were great. The main event, it was great. Henry Cejudo came out, did what he needed to do. You got guys that are 1-4 like Log Rage just coming out and putting on a show that I don't think any of us would have expected out of him, coming off of that four loss streak that he was on. I was really impressed. I got to see some fighters that I knew in terms of Hammer, but a lot of fighters that I didn't know that have a lot of talent and that I wouldn't honestly be surprised to see in the ESFL one day, whether that be, on the next card or as a fill-in or as at any time in the ESFL. I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen tonight.
Absolutely. I think we've all been impressed. I know the guys in the chat live here on Twitch and on YouTube were very impressed about all the showings from all these fighters. Hopefully we get to show them again. And speaking of next time when we get to show them again, we have our next ESL Network card next Wednesday, and it's going to be highlighting the Ultimate Fighting League, the UFL. It's going to be showing one of their cards here. I think we're going to have a title fight in that next one, so that's going to be really exciting. And then again, this whole slate of in the weekend, we have a whole slate of events for you guys. Again, Friday is going to be the multi-event for the ESFL. I think that's going to be another tournament. And then we have the ESFL number cards where it's going to be hosted by Bruce Lee Rob, Balian, and I'm a Boxer. And then Sundays you have Frank, and then Marshall Mine, Prioxis is going to be in the booth as well. A lot of great things are going to be happening. 4 events a week from the ESFL network here on Twitch and on YouTube. So be sure to follow, like, subscribe, hit that notification button with a head kick if you need to catch up on all things ESFL. And if you want to have a chance to be in the ESFL, be sure to join our Discord or any of our affiliate league Discords. They always are looking for fighters. And if you want to prove yourself, be sure, and maybe we'll see you in the spotlight and we'll see you get your first victory here in the ESFL network. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Any last words from you, Jerry?
Yeah, just much love, everybody. It was a fantastic time. I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday night and continue to have a wonderful Wednesday night.
Yeah, same for me. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always fun. I was in the chat watching what you guys were saying. I hope you guys really enjoyed the fights. Overall, a great card, great exciting fights. Thank you to all the fighters that got these fights in. I know it could be quite nerve-wracking. A lot of people aren't able to do it, so I commend you guys for getting in there. Whether you won or you lost, you gave it your all, and I respect that. And I can't wait to call another Primetime MMA card. I really can't.
Absolutely. At the end of the night, it's all about respect. I have nothing but respect for both of you guys for joining me in the booth. I have nothing but respect for everyone who works in the back, trying to make sure everything is all going smoothly, even though at times it doesn't. It happens. That's what happens in esports. But we thank you guys for joining us and sticking with us here in the chat. We hope to see you guys next Wednesday for our next affiliate league card. And without further ado, have a good day and have a good night. We'll see you guys next time on Fight Night.